Mbappe hits it!
This past World Cup has showcased fans from all across the world cheering voraciously for their countries and demonstrating the basic humanity that we all share with one another. Behind all the fun is the fact that this is a very profitable endeavor. The International Federation of Association Football, also known as FIFA, is the owner of the World Cup, and this World Cup is expected to generate almost $9 billion in revenue, and the 2026 World Cup is expected to grow by 73% since its last World Cup cycle in 2022. Each World Cup is hosted by a region of the world, and this cycle it was North America. Host countries work tirelessly to win hosting rights, mainly due to intangible values such as building soft power around the world. However, host countries are responsible for stadium construction and providing security and logistical support for fans, while FIFA gets to keep all of the direct revenues from the tournament and only pay for the prize money and logistical support for the national teams, which is a minuscule percentage of their revenues. FIFA benefits immensely from this structure. FIFA states that they pump a lot of revenue back into the FIFA Forward program. This program is intended to provide financial support for the national teams, organizing regional tournaments, and develop youth and women's soccer to continue growing the sport. The issue is that FIFA is notoriously known to be one of the most fraudulent institutions worldwide, and there's a plethora of documentaries, news articles, and videos that goes into detail about their corruption. However, I believe the issue is not that FIFA is corrupt, but rather the world deserves leaders that will push back against them and turn the tables where FIFA needs to prove why they have the high honor of organizing this incredible tournament. Unfortunately, that was not the case in this World Cup. After North America was given hosting responsibilities, the race for which city will get to host the World Cup final was on. It came down to a battle between the Dallas region and the New York City, New Jersey area. In February 2024, it was announced that MetLife Stadium, i.e., New York, New Jersey, would get to host the championship. It came after a 2.5 year effort by the New York City and New Jersey political and sports leaders to lobby FIFA President Gianni Infantino. However, in doing so, these leaders gave in to concessions that did not take into consideration the taxpayers and small businesses in the New York City, New Jersey area. New York City and New Jersey agreed to spend over $100 million on updates to the stadium, $48 million on logistical support, and a 7-day blackout period that wouldn't allow any major event to take place in MetLife, which would hinder the small businesses around the area. In a sign of hope, both New York City and New Jersey replaced their old leaders with people who had their constituents' best intentions in mind. In a controversial move, Governor Mikey Sherrill of New Jersey initially increased the train fare that would transport fans to MetLife Stadium to $150. She was concerned local New Jersey residents will be on the hook for this transportation cost we saw earlier, so upon taking office, her administration got into a public battle with FIFA and demanded that either FIFA subsidize transportation cost or it will be passed on to the fans who tended to be more affluent and lived outside the New Jersey area. In the meantime, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani secured 1,000 tickets at subsidized cost and distributed it to New York City residents, mainly working class people who would not have been able to attend otherwise. In both instances, the moves may be small and watered down, but show a willingness by leaders to stick up for their constituents instead of large multi-billion-dollar institutions. The logic that hosting rights generate economic benefit is upside down. The first concept that violates the growth theory is the substitution effect. When New York City, New Jersey hosts the World Cup, any local residents who are considering going to the event have a finite budget on the amount they're willing to spend on entertainment. When they purchase a ticket to the World Cup, then that is less money they will spend on existing or new businesses in the area, such as restaurants, plays, and concerts. The second concept that violates the growth theory is the crowding out effect. Soccer fans worldwide are traveling to the United States and, in fact, will be taking hotel rooms which otherwise would be going to tourists that were going to travel to America. These soccer fans will mostly be spending money that goes into the pockets of FIFA, while tourists would generally spend money on endeavors that benefit the local people or local businesses. The truth is, governments around the world are more powerful than FIFA. It's bizarre that countries are willing to bend over backwards to kowtow to this organization. Instead, they should come together and demand why FIFA should be in charge of this popular event and what FIFA is willing to give back to the host countries and cities. The United States, who is still the leading superpower, has the power to do the right thing, but it requires political, business, and sports leaders to take the fight on.